Good morning, evening, or afternoon, everybody. It's Kaghoe coming at you with another video. So today I wanted to take the time to talk about my biggest Phase 8 concerns right now. And this is going to be a short little list of just things that slightly worry me, just having played the amount that I have here on PTR, messing around with Phase 8 and pretty much attempting to cover every aspect of New Avalon. Obviously, the biggest takeaway from this is that it is PTR, which gives two things. One, it allows us to give feedback to the dev team, and hopefully they can make some changes if they see that that is necessary. And two, we don't have the full picture. We have things that we might not know of. I made a video talking about the new tier system, how it might work, and my concerns with that. And we were able to, Agrin replied and said this is not the only way that you're going to be able to get these pieces. So that was very refreshing because it means it is not the only way that you're going to get the crafting pieces which directly tie into your tier set. So those are a few examples of why I am a little concerned about a few things. But overall, I'm hopeful because Phase 8 feels really awesome. It feels like a crescendo, if you will. But anyway, let's talk about our first point. So the first one is my initial reaction about the April 8th date that we got yesterday was, wow, this feels too soon. Feels like we are getting this way, way too soon. And is it? And after looking at the dates, it's right in that 8 to 12 week range that we have gotten every single patch for. Phase 8, this just tells me that they have had Phase 8 ready to go, planned it out for a while. They're going along these same lines that they did for Phase 7. And, yeah, so it's not like something crazy. It feels too soon, I think, because we are having so much fun with Phase 7, with Naxxramas. Like, a lot of stuff still needs to be completed and built upon. And I feel like that's why it was kind of a shock, especially with all these hints and things that they are dropping, like Undead Paladins and Shamans, Hyjal, the Ashbringer. Like, a lot of those things are incredibly massive little tidbits of information that we could infer that why would they do this? And then just sort of seeing Phase 8 with some pretty vague lines, like exploring New Avalon, putting on a disguise, and a new raid. That's really all they said. So I think they're making it intentionally vague for a lot of reasons. The next one is the Attunement bottleneck, especially on a PvP server. So if you look right here, I'm going to highlight it. Tyr's Hand is not a sanctuary. The moment you go into New Avalon, you get a sanctuary buff. So there is an armistice, and now it's not the time for petty squabbles, meaning you cannot PvP in this zone. This is a phenomenal change, and as far as the functionality of doing everything in New Avalon will go, I think this is a must-have, and I'm so glad they're putting this in. For particularly because I'm on a PvP server and just how everything's supposed to work, all the functions, it really should be like this. Now, what concerns me a lot is Tyr's Hand. So the moment we leave right here, we lose this buff. Which means if I'm a rogue and I'm trying to ruin people's day and everything, I'm going to stand right here and hold the gate. I'm sure at some point I will have to assemble my entire guild and we will have to hold that gate and purge the alliance, because that's just how it is on a PvP server. I know that's what I signed up for, all that fun stuff, but anyway, the point is I would really like to see the armistice buff, at least for a week or two, be extended to cover Tyr's Hand, because I think it'll be really terrible if that's the case. I know even if you do it to Tyr's Hand, this gate right here becomes the choke point and bottleneck. There are only 2 entrances for it, so people are going to just sit here at the EPL crossing and they will just fight you, because once you have your disguise on, these scarlet people won't attack you, so people are just going to sit right here and gank instead. So having these 2 bottlenecks really concerns me on a PvP server personally, but I just, I'm advocating for better gameplay, because a lot of people, as we saw with the Karazhan Attunement, a lot of people were quite friendly on the first week. Everyone was just out there grinding, doing their attunements, doing that stuff. It wasn't until later that people started PvPing and ganking, which, you know, once it's later in the phase, like a few weeks, that's fine because everyone's done the majority of the things they need to do. But I would like to see the Armed Assist buff extend to Tyr's Hand personally. Then, as another potential bottleneck is right here. In the what appears to be attunement quest, you have to kill 3 siege commanders, and on the PTR it's really easy, but they kind of just sit here at these crossbows. I would really like to see that just be like destroy the siege equipment. So like we come over here with like a little torch and we just click and interact with that to destroy these 3 crossbows instead of the siege commanders. The siege commanders could still be useful in the sense they guard these crossbows. They're still elites with 15k health and no joke, so it'd be cool to have them just sit here and guard them, and then we destroy the crossbows. As well as potentially, if these have to despawn and respawn, making it a raid quest. But that's the only bottleneck in the what seems to be attunement, and I think they did a really good job of avoiding massive bottlenecks that we can face with like the Kara Attune and Harrison Jones being in the cage and stuff like that. After doing what I think is an attunement, it hasn't been confirmed, and in no way do you have to do it. It just allows you to get your disguise and go through everything and have a quest to defeat the final raid boss. But it doesn't necessarily need to happen. It's just something cool that you can do. So I would like to see that changed a little bit. Then next, we have crafting tier and issues with Blood of Heroes. So right now, as you saw and probably have seen, and everyone's freaking out about this, is to craft the new Scarlet sets, you need Blood of Heroes, and you also need Righteous Orbs. I'm not too worried about Righteous Orbs. Obviously, a lot of these were copied, but as you can see, Righteous Orbs drop pretty frequently here in New Avalon and Tyr's Hand, so I really would not worry too much about that. The biggest concerns that I would have is the Blood of Heroes requirement. So if you don't know what Blood of Heroes is, it is a bind-on pickup piece of thing that spawns on the ground and is just simply a blood. So I'm going to... there's a really helpful tip with Questy that you can use, and you can advanced search them. So you'd open your map, you'd right-click Questy, and you go to advanced search, and you can search Blood of Heroes, and you'll be able to search all around for Blood of Heroes. They spawn Fallen Defenders, so it's really tough with that, but just be aware of that, and maybe allow us to buy Blood of Heroes and Righteous Orbs with our Remnants of Valor. Everybody has tons of Remnants of Valor. It'd be really cool to see Remnants of Valor be useful. Pretty much they hardcapped the Argent Seal of the Dawn at 7, and we just have them sitting there doing nothing. So maybe give us a guaranteed way to buy Righteous Orbs and Blood of Heroes so we can get so we can fight the RNG boss, because with tons of people on the server, everybody going for these things, I fear that there isn't just going to be enough for people. We obviously have the layer system, but even with that, if people want to be farming them, they're going to be farming them, and it's going to be a real pain in the butt. But yeah, that's just the only, once again, very small. And as I said at the beginning of the video, Agrind commented on it, and he said that the tier pieces will have multiple uses, and we will be able to get these other than crafting some way. This is PTR, and we have only seen a glimpse of what's to come and not the entire picture. So that was very nice to get that comment and be aware of that. So I'm going to go over here to the tier vendor real quick and show you exactly why this is going to be a potential problem, and why I would advocate for Blood of Heroes or Righteous Orb to be some give us a farmable currency that we can get. So here's the Quartermaster. Oh, we pulled a dog. Hang on. So this is the Quartermaster right here, and we need to buy from him. So we got to finish this dog off real quick. These things are so obnoxious. They always find you, even with the disguise. And then they give you Rabies, which is the worst debuff in the game. As you can see, you move slower, and you get 1% maximum health every 3 seconds. So priests are going to be well sought after. But here's the tier vendor, and So like it takes a Crusader's chalice, and then it takes a piece of the uniform. So like crafters are gonna be needing to make a ton of these. So like if I had the chalice, I could get these gloves, and so that's just something that's really cool. Also, I believe. Okay, never mind. I thought they had put in alternate colors for these tier sets, but they have not yet. So there was a post that they might have been doing that. So anyway, that is just sort of what I am concerned with the Rightous Orbs, Blood of Heroes. I think it could be a really, really obnoxious bottleneck, and people are going to charge crazy prices to use their Blood of Heroes when they have to scour all of Eastern, Western, and now New Avalon for those. So I would really love to, take a currency that was very useful last phase that most people have finished up, and then they can use these to buy them. You can make it like 10,000 Remnants of Valor for Blood of Heroes, and maybe 5,000 for Rightous Orb, just something like that, so that it is it values your time, and it's a good, safe way to do it instead of just getting bodied by the RNG boss. Then, finally, one word, as you saw yesterday, that really, really terrified me in the post was the word Culminate. And I obviously love Season of Discovery. I have made over 620 videos for Season of Discovery. I have poured my heart and soul into it. And seeing Culminate just thrown in there randomly, not randomly, but thrown in there like that, it really bothered me. It was unpleasant surprise, to say the least. But I had a very nice long conversation with a few people on the dev team, and I am never going to leak DMs. I'm never going to say exactly what we talked about. That's just not who I am. I think it's really just a generally shitty thing to do. But that makes me want to reflect on a quote that Agron said recently. So I want to take us over here to Hammer Dance's video, and really just this last paragraph. Now that we've seen Phase 8, we've seen hints, we've seen drops of Hyjal, we have seen drops of Undead Paladins and Shamans, and it really makes me ask one question. Why would they tease those? Why would they give us hints of those? Why would they put Gregory and Teb in there if it was for no reason? Just to say, haha, we got you guys. I don't think the dev team's that cruel. I think the dev team has always listened to us as a community, especially the Season of Discovery, and added so many amazing things. So I'm going to read this quote to you to cap this off. He said, "There are some things that we did in SOD that we will never do again, and there are many more things in SOD that we want to keep developing and carry forward. To put a pin in that, our team is also growing as well, specifically in the development of design, i.e. the people who can truly build new content, and that alone is exciting." So yeah, we aren't going to go out and be disingenuous about SOD. SOD has the word season in the title, and that means at some point we will shift our focus to other things. But just because that will happen eventually doesn't mean you shouldn't enjoy it now. If it is something you enjoy, or you think you might enjoy, it is never too late to start, and more eyes and feedback and lessons that we get from what we put out in SOD, the better the next thing we work on will be. So that right there, that quote just has so much potential. And as I said before this, look, they put so many cool things in Phase 8, hints at the future, tidbits of information. I really genuinely do not know if we're getting Undead Paladins or Dwarf Shamans. I don't know if we're getting them in SOD. I don't know if we're getting them in the next project. But I'd like to think those are glimpses of the future. Those are hints that we can hang on to. Those are things we can look forward to, even if the Scarlet Enclave and Phase 8 is the last major content patch as far as a raid goes. I just don't know, honestly. And I think it's a really good note to leave this video on. So that's what Culminate has meant to me. And anyway, I truly hope you enjoyed this video. And until next time, I'll see you later. Hope you have a great day. Bye-bye. Hey, you. Yes, you. Are you still there? Well, I appreciate you for taking the time to watch this entire video and making it to the end here. If you enjoyed this video, definitely check out the other videos about World of Warcraft listed in these playlists down below. And thank you again. Have a great day. Bye-bye.